Bandai Namco Entertainment now. Bandai Namco Studios. Look how fast it's going. Unreal Engine 4. Oh my goodness, AMD software! Put nothing on there. Project Soul. Woo, SoulCalibur VI, baby. Look at it. Look at the swords.
SoulCalibur VI.
Wow, we actually got a voice to intro the game to let you know that it's SoulCalibur VI, a SoulCalibur classic, a trademark, if you will. I don't think it's a trademark. Other games have done it. Especially Resident Evil. That was made by Capcom. So this is the intro of the game, and I gotta tell you some things that you wouldn't see on your second playthrough, but you would see when you're first opening up the game. Keyboard controls are told to you at first because I'm playing this on Steam. This is before the logo, by the way, that you get told all this stuff. And after you click into the game, you get network data could not be retrieved, and you have to reset the game. If you want to, you don't have to. Before the opening cutscene. All this before the opening cutscene. I'm like, these are things you do after the opening cutscene, not before. You have all the logos of the companies that were involved. You have your intro cutscene, then you have the title screen, then you should do the controls and all that. Nah, they don't care. Just shove it in before even the logo comes up, where you won't even see the opening cutscene until I press a button, do the network data, and then we get into the intro cutscene. Are you out of your mind? But welcome to SoulCalibur VI. This is currently the last game of the franchise, the main line of the franchise. First off, I want to look at the logo. I do not like this logo nearly as much as SoulCalibur II's or 4's. This is like corporate fantasy if I want to add two things together. It's very minimalist. It's not very creative. It's very cut and dry. It's like if you took Arial font or like Helvetica and just put some slight edges on it. That's what it looks like. It looks like it's made of barbed wire. It looks like Ivy's blade or something like that. But it's just too corporate. Everything's the same size. Where in SoulCalibur normally like the S and C are super large, but now they're all condensed and small. The shine, I guess, is okay, but that's not the right type of metallic. It's too clean. You know what I mean? That's why I say it looks too corporate, because it's too clean. There's no soul in it. And also the 6, I don't know why they made the 5 larger than the 1. It makes it look weird to me, especially because how thick the left side of it is and how skinny the right side of it is. What is interesting, though, that there is like a bluish, purplish hue on the left side, reddish orange hue on the right side. So you got basically SoulCalibur, Soul Edge, and then you have the yellow hue in the background. But you do have SoulCalibur and Soul Edge here, more of the original designs of what the blades look like, or close to. Obviously, Soul Edge was different in the first game because Cervantes had it and it changed its design based on that. But this is more when Nightmare wielded it, or should I say Siegfried when he became Nightmare. That's not a spoiler at this point. We're 6 games in. This is a new timeline, by the way. New timeline. We haven't even gotten to the game yet. I guess the night sky's okay. It's not like the backgrounds of SoulCalibur games are really that exquisite. Gotta check the network data. It's important. You know, there's clearly going to be a lot of online battles we'll be doing, not? All right, so this is your opening scene. You don't even see the cutscene when you come back into the game. They're like, nah, we're going to cut that out. You know, we're going to watch the opening cutscene. That's what we're going to do first. I know this is going to be weird because we're going into story mode and I have to click on prologue to watch the opening cutscene of the game again. I don't know if you could do it in options, but I need to show off what this game is now because there is a new timeline. It is a new story they try to introduce here. So I don't know why it looks like Castlevania. I don't know why this looks like Castlevania. Look at that Soul Edge, baby. I don't like that design nearly as much. It's weird because they have the original Soul Edge on the logo, but that's not it. So they have Cervantes take it, so this takes place after Soul Edge. But there's things that's different to the plot. So they just adapted the fact that, oh yeah, it does split into 2 and it changes based on the wielder. Something you see in SoulCalibur II when they change weapons. You can have a Soul Edge for every character and it's different based on their fighting style, which is cool. Also, this is lazy. This is the same thing I criticized with Lost Swords, so keep my criticism here, is that you're using these type of slides. Also, Sophitia beats him? What are you talking about? Why is Sophitia the one? I'm actually saying it right this time. Sophitia beating him. What? And then she doesn't even win. But look who comes next. Taki. Oh my god. Why are we throwing Siegfried under the bus for no reason? I do not get it. He is the reason why SoulCalibur in terms of a franchise exists. I'm not saying you could pivot to another character, but he's the reason why Nightmare exists. You already established that Siegfried is Nightmare for how many games? And look at this. He's changed from 2D to 3D for some reason. The 3D kind of looks a bit goofy, but it's in-game cutscene. It's not really like pre-rendered like they used to do. This intro's not very good because of that. You're known for making some of the best pre-rendered cutscenes in your intros of all time, and you do this instead. So somehow Siegfried still gets the blade and becomes Nightmare anyways. How does that make any sense? What? So the guy doesn't even get to beat Cervantes, but he gets Soul Edge anyways. And not only that, we're still in the plot of SoulCalibur Legends, a flop of a game for the Wii, a spin-off game that should have never had anything incorporated with the main series. But clearly someone in Project Soul wanted it to be a part of it. They like the concept of the evil seed, they like the blast. There was literally copy and paste cutscene. I just don't get it. I really don't. I mean, SoulCalibur V has that in their story mode, where they use those cutscenes, but not the opening cutscene of the game. Are you out of your mind? So I had to go here just to show you the opening intro cutscene. Like I said, I don't know if I have to unlock it in options or buy it. This is the UI of the game. And this is like the most cut and dry, uncreative element of this game. It's so bad. It's so cut and dry. What is this? Times New Romans blown up? Are you for real? Are you kidding me? Look how generic this is. It's like the backgrounds are cool, but the font's not. It's like the laziest fantasy medieval font you could use, and that's Times New Roman. But I do like the art in the background. I don't like the Photoshop filter, really. Like, I tried to make it part of a page of history. I got that. But you could do that Photoshop filter easily. You know, I've done it before. It's trying to make it not necessarily like a book, but like a canvas. The canvas of a piece of art, which is interesting. Interesting choice. I don't know if it helps it, because look, you actually have fire animations in the background, so it makes it look weird on top of a canvas. There's even animations of the sunlight in the background. There's cool things like Clock Tower. Who cares about SoulCalibur 3's QuickTime events? Everyone remembers Clock Tower in SoulCalibur 3 because the freaking QuickTime event that every character goes through, no matter what. I like how all the changes in here are all the light. It's all light based in the background in terms of their animations. They just like, it's mostly sunlight. This is kind of lazy in a way, because even though there's fantastical elements, you have the rocks, the ship. This reminds me of the C.S. Lewis book cover that you saw back then, where it was the ship out there in the sea. But the only animated thing really is the light. Everything has to involve something light. Sunlight, a flame, sunlight, which also has candles in the background, so it's a double whammy there. Sunlight. Sunlight and flames. Sunlight. A sunlight from the clock tower, maybe moonlight, which is just sunlight reflected off the moon. Sunlight. But the exit screen doesn't have anything. All right, so we're going to go into the options. As you can see, there's also little logos next to them. I guess that's okay. I guess they're cool. So you have a lot of options here compared to what you're used to because of the graphic settings and because of the keyboard settings that you'd get playing on computer. We'll go to screen settings. You can change your brightness if you want. You got your HUDs. You got your subtitles and battle cutscenes. Both players have combat displays and all that nice stuff. You have battle camera settings, which you have for Mission of Libra, so you have a more dynamic camera, but you could change it from dynamic. It seems to be backwards. Right is left and left is right. I don't know why. Which is cool. That's a nice addition. You got the music, sound effects, character voice, and narration voiceover volume. You also got to switch languages from English to Japanese if you want to. Here's your settings for your controllers. Here's your settings for your keyboard, if you want to play with a keyboard for some reason. Stage music, you got them all here, I think for the most part, unless I got to buy them. Here's the graphics settings. So this is obviously different from what you're used to in console, because we have all these different resolutions that we could set if we wanted to. We got without border and borderless, as they call it, full screen or windowed if you'd like. And you also have VSync, which is to go with your monitor's frame rate. My monitor is 180 frames per second, so I doubt this game runs at that. It doesn't seem like it, but it could be. You also have network settings, because obviously you can play online in this game. Data analysis, do you want to give them your data? Here you go. No. There's display copyright info. So that's all you get in the options. You get a little bit more because the graphic setting, but it's not really that great. We're also going to go to the museum now. I usually try to get through with these in the beginning because they're usually the shortest and the least impactful in the game, but there is important things in them. Look at this portrait art. What you're going to notice in this game, there is a level of dissonance between the art and the actual 3D model, and you'll see with certain characters like Sophitia and Talum are like the big two I saw in terms of their facial features that just look way off, because this is a more of an anime style with the eyes being the way they are, but you'll see when the 3D model comes around that they try to make it more realistic. But this art's amazing. It's never really bad. It's not really like the worst thing you've ever seen in a video game ever. It's usually not like that, and they're good. These are just PNGs taken out of their backgrounds. That's why his foot's a bit yellow, because it was taken out of a background that was bright, so they actually cared about shading to a degree. And also it has the new lore of each character. So if you want to learn about Nightmare, he's male, unknown, he has a height and weight, soul edge, Y-hander type, soul edge, his memories. And you click on it, you can look at the weapon and style, you can look at the story, and that's pretty much it. So if you want all your info here, this is nice. This is not nearly as cool as SoulCalibur IV's chart, where it showed how everyone's connected to Soul Edge, SoulCalibur, and each other. That was probably the best chart ever to show you lore in this game and why people are connected to it. I'm surprised they didn't bring it back, especially for this new game. Would have helped a lot more people out. So you have the library, we have an encyclopedia of things if you want to learn more of the lore of the game. The evil seed. I can't believe they brought back Malfested from SoulCalibur V. Surely that was a concept that sold the game. I can't believe you're adding things from games that did not sell well and putting into this game thinking this is the reason why this game would sell even well. I don't understand that. Bandai Namco, please. So I don't have a lot of character compendiums. 3 out of 59 is insane. I don't even know if you'll play that much to get there. Same thing with this, 61 out of 77, 142 out of 193. There's 51 blades I got unlocked. Oh my god. So there is a weird change in this game in terms of what SoulCalibur actually is, in terms of its relation to Soul Edge and everything else. Its real name is called Krita-Yuga, and it's one of the 3 sacred treasures of Ling's Shangsu Temple. What? It is in fact the Spirit Sword SoulCalibur. Why? Why are we turning SoulCalibur into Journey to the West and 3 Kingdoms now? I thought this was medieval fantasy. Like, what are we doing in terms of the medieval part? We're getting the fantastical elements down, but I wouldn't say Journey to the West and 3 Kingdoms is really medieval. That's a European thing, especially the Crusades being a big hallmark of medieval times, but definitely a hallmark of knights' armor, the blades that they use. That's why Siegfried is like the main guy. He's like the pinnacle of what you think someone from a German empire or a German adjacent empire at the time. And it's just so awkward to now make this a Chinese artifact. What are they doing? Why is this a Chinese artifact now? Bearers of the 3 sacred treasures. Shut up. Because look at Soul Edge. Soul Edge doesn't get that. Soul Edge gets to be its complete own thing, but SoulCalibur can't. Why is it got to be the 3 treasures? SoulCalibur should have been its own thing, just like Soul Edge is. Nah, it's a Chinese treasure now. Eastern mythology treasure. Sorry, I don't care, but that's where you can look at all the weapons. This is nice. This is nice to look at all of them. And they even give a little background story to all of them. I think this is a nice addition. Also, historical documents, Germanic intertribal strife. I have none of these unlocked because you have to buy them. Something I didn't show off before is that you could buy these. You buy them with your spirit points. You don't do that with this. Also, I wish you could actually see a closer look at the blade and the blade on the character. That's something SoulCalibur II had. Notice I can't buy everything in every place ever. There's also hidden records. Look, is that Solomon? That's the Libra of Souls mode. But there's other things to buy. We're just in library. Look, 3,700 to unlock SoulCalibur V gallery. And this is like concept art that they had of the game. Like what they wanted stages to look like. I mean, that's a SoulCalibur V stage. And a SoulCalibur IV stage. Similar to, they're not exact. Obviously, they changed it up a little bit. Look at that. Astral Chaos. Remember Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 where you land on the princess thing and you have to choose which weapon you want to use because choosing a weapon dictates your stats or how you gain XP throughout the game as well? See, that's the original illustration of Geralt. That's why his leg is bright. You got all this nice character illustrations here. They're nice. They're okay. There's really much to talk about. They're just nice character illustrations. I don't know. Things you'd classically see in SoulCalibur. Look at this 20th anniversary. I actually want to show this off real quick because I think this might be a better intro cutscene than this game has, which is sad. The trailer should never be better than the game. Look at this. Oh, dude, look at that SoulCalibur 4 blade. Ew, ew. Oh, look, a better game. Look at that intro cutscene. Are you serious? Soul. Remember when Cervantes was basically Scorpion? God, look at that. Those graphics. This is just to remind you of better games. It's so sad. This is what I'm talking about. How could you make all these intro cutscenes but couldn't do it for this game? Ew, they showed SoulCalibur V. Oh, why they showed so much of SoulCalibur V? Are you out of your mind? Look at this. These are in-game cutscenes too. To be fair, these were also pre-rendered. Oh my god, they're actually mentioning Broken Destiny? Interesting choice, to say the least. Oh god, SoulCalibur V. It's even stranger to talk about this because this is basically a new game and a new timeline. So none of this matters anymore. Oh my god, they actually mentioned Lost Swords? Look at this. They have to do in-game gameplay because how bad it is. Bandai Namco, dude, are you for real? Oh, legend will never die. Well, ooh, they used the freaking Lost Swords emblem. Gross. Oh, so Soul Blade's actually cheaper. Why is SoulCalibur 5,000? Why are the prices all over the place? Are you out of your mind? So these are combat lessons. There's too many. There's just too many in this, okay? You're just gonna have to learn as you play as well, because I don't think this is a proper tutorial, but this is basically part of your tutorial. They do have a training mode, obviously, to help you play the game, but there's new stuff in it, and I'll tell you about it. I won't tell you about every new thing ever. Reversal edges are new, and there's just things that I don't want in a SoulCalibur game. They tell you the moves of the character. Like, they tell you what your critical edge, the soul charge, and the reversal edges are. That's nice. If you also notice, the DLC characters are not in this because you have to buy them, which I'm pretty sure unlocks their lore and all that stuff. You got music, which you can choose from SoulCalibur VI. You can randomize it, and you can also favorite some that you like. There's tips for the game. Look, so this is the update history of the game that tells you what has happened in previous years, previous updates. We'll get to the DLC, dude. It's disastrous. I can't believe they thought it was a good idea. Oh, I hate Bandai Namco in the modern era. I actually hated Bandai Namco as soon as they merged. Not when I was younger, but when I realized that everything was because they merged when I was playing through their games. I'm like, oh, this is getting worse as we go. So the first thing we're going to do is trading, which is in battle now. You have to hit battle and it shows off the other things. Kind of like SoulCalibur II, where you enter and it shows the different game modes.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
That's nice. Retold. For better or for worse. I don't think for better. It's been 7 years. We don't have a new SoulCalibur game. It was not for better. So this is your character roster. As you see, there's empty on the right and left, which I do believe are DLC characters. So if you want to talk about a dissonance between character models and character art, look at Sophitia. Look at her art in her profile picture there, in her little hexagonal or her little star there, and look at her face in their character model. These are not the same character. This feels like a nitpick, but it's more like showing off the idea versus the execution. An idea is only as good as its execution. And it's not really a nitpick to me because changing the face changes the character, does it not? If you change the art style of something, it's going to change what the character is, especially how they're being portrayed in this game. Because most of the time, you're going to see that they'll be using 3D models in 2D environments in terms of just using a 2D sprite or a 2D image of them, like a PNG or a JPEG, and be put on the left or right side of the screen for Libra Souls mode. Also, Geralt of Rivia, he's actually good in this game. You know who's also good in this game for once? Nightmare. When I say for once, I'm pretty sure he's probably a decent tier back then in some games, but this guy is insane in this game. We're going to choose Siegfried. So I don't know if you have to unlock them in character creation by buying them, but you only get colors here. Just straight off the rip. You got different costumes without having to buy them in SoulCalibur II. And I bring up SoulCalibur II because it's arguably the best game in the franchise. It set the standard of what SoulCalibur was and where it was going to head towards, at least at that time. Then SoulCalibur III happened. It's like, well, there's some good and bad in that game. The balancing, the character roster is very large, but I don't want a large character roster if half the characters just goof off characters. There's no point in them. We're going to choose this color. This is just SoulCalibur IV Siegfried with new armor. Let's see. Who should we fight? I mean, Geralt's nice. We should fight Geralt. And they got Geralt's voice actor too. They didn't cheap out on that. So I got every stage unlocked, almost. I think these might be DLC stages, or stages I have to lock in story mode or mission mode. I guess we should show off Kaer Morhen, which is Geralt's stage from The Witcher 3. This versus screen looks like something straight out of a rap album. I do like there's 3D models now. I didn't point that out. They went back to SoulCalibur IV and said, you know what, we're going to do 2D art illustrations and we'll do 3D models. Thank you for actually doing that. What is there to say about this game? The movement is good. Might be better than 4. This looks goofy. I gotta say, probably why this animation happens isn't just you're sidestepping fast, it's because you're sidewalking too, basically. I don't like that delay. I don't think I ever really liked that delay. I don't think I ever really talked about it much because I don't think it was nearly that bad in like SoulCalibur 1 and 2, and maybe it is. But there's like a weird delay when you switch from sidestepping to sidewalking. It's like half a second or a second to where it switches, everything slows down too. People with motion sickness, I don't recommend this game. It is insane how much things are going in the background when you're sidewalking. Look at that, dude. Look how fast that is. Where he has to do critical edges in order to get his soul charge up. And these obviously critical edges are back. Don't know why. That's not what sold SoulCalibur V. That's all I'm saying. Like, this game could have gone without that goofy gimmick. So I think this is hits based on his critical edge, because it obviously went up a lot. See, that filled up the whole bar when I did it twice. So that's reversal edge, which you just basically do rock, paper, scissors. To see what your opponent would do, it's either A, B, or K. Why do we need a reversal edge? I don't understand it. This is you going in a circle. Isn't that crazy? It's that precise. It feels pretty fluid. I don't think I really have an issue with the movement. I think it might be better than 4 and 5. But like I said, with the background moving as quickly as it is, it kind of could be distracting. But it was kind of like that in SoulCalibur 4 and 5. I could put them on the screen just to show off the differences between these games to give you guys a reference to movement in this game, especially how the background moves. Look at that. Look how fast the background is moving just from doing this. Siegfried feels about the same as he would be. He's not a good character in terms of tier list. He's like middle maybe, if that. B tier, I like S, A, B, C, D. He's probably B tier. He's somewhere in the middle of the pack. They try to treat him like the Ryu of the game, but he's a great sword wielder, so he's obviously going to be limited unless your name's Nightmare, which Nightmare is just usually better anyways. There's Soul Charge. Look, you like that? Also, there's Break Attack, and it's just a button press now, because since you're playing on PC, and even then, even if you're playing on console, you just have to press a button for most of these things anyways. Break Attack is just L1. L2 is also a grab. You can see that the damage is there. It's really too small. I don't know why they made it too small. The UI isn't too bad. It looks like something out of Saints Row the Third. It looks like the Saints Row the Third emblem. This feels out of place. It's too shiny. It has too much chrome on it, and chrome is something of the modern era, not of the past. I'm not saying Knight's armor couldn't be shiny, but chrome as a concept is more a modern thing. It looks more like chrome than like rust or the iron that was used back then, the steel that was used, Damascus steel, Japanese steel, stuff like that. I just feel like it looks too modern. Also, the soul gauges of the 2 and the burning symbol isn't that great either. They moved them in the center instead of having them next to the character, so it'd probably be easier to see in terms of your line of sight looking at a screen towards the center in most cases. But the life bar, it's too sleek. It's a freaking parallelogram, I think. It's some type of quadrilateral. I think it's a parallelogram or a rhombus. Multiple things like that. I don't know why. It's crazy to say give something more of an edge, but this feels more, like I said, Saints Row the Third, Saints Row the Fourth in terms of its design. But you can see what weapons you're using beside the character's font, which isn't that great, and it's too small. They could have made the font as large as the background life bar wings and stuff like that, the curls. They could have just made it go across that and would look better. Whoever UI designed this was just not that good. 4s is better than this. 2s is better than this. But yeah, that's pretty much how you play the game. Like I said, reversal edges are just rock, paper, scissors, and you can just press them whenever you want. But obviously, they take time to charge up. And they clearly show an animation of it, so it's probably a bit easier to dodge. So you know it's coming. So if you want to be a part of the rock, paper, scissors things, you can be. I mean, fighting games have 50-50s in them, but now we're literally doing a 33-33-33 as if that's necessary. Look at this stance by Siegfried, by the way. The problem with Siegfried changing stances, this is some of the side thing I talk about, especially when I play Siegfried. Notice he has terrible movement. You have to commit in terms of changing stances, because if you don't, you're gonna get hit. It's either you hit your opponent or they're gonna hit you. This is why I don't like changing stances too much unless it's the middle of a combo, which I'm pretty sure that's what it's used for, but like, look at this. This is all you can do until you change out of it. Now you can do all the sick movement. Look at this. Just from those two stances. Isn't that insane? But everyone has their own gimmick, essentially. They have their own special soul charges, special move sets. Just like before, they bring some move sets back. I don't know what else to say about it. I just don't think it's as good as 2s. Kind of concerned it's not as good as 4s because of all the gimmicks in this game. The gimmicks I just don't like. We don't need reversal edges. We don't need critical edges that take forever to get through the cutscene. These are things I've already talked about. But these are your move lists. And I say our move list because there's 2. You can actually see your opponent's move list, which is awesome. Look at this. You even have reversal edge attacks now. This game already has a lot of moves you can do, as you can tell. This is saying a lot of movement in terms of what you could do as combo material and how to combo into things based on their frame data. You can tell what buttons are mapped to what, which is cool. So you can map them out wherever you want. All these different freaking moves. Are you gonna keep up with it? Probably not. You're probably shrinking down to like 10 moves you'll use given a situation. But it's nice to see your opponent's moves so you know what they're doing in terms of their animation. So you know when to block, when not to. But Geralt gets the Axii, the Quens, Igni, the Erdens, the Ards. He gets all that cool stuff. I wonder why he's good. I mean, you also have combat lessons in here, like you would in the option screen. You have instant replay, position reset, and tell you where to reset. System settings. This might be the coolest feature I've seen involving online play, where you can train offline, but intentionally put frame delay to actually compensate for the lag or the input delay. That was about a second. About, I'd say. If not more. Might be the greatest online feature of all time now. That's a bit of an exaggeration. That is out-of-box thinking to do in a game like this. Maybe Tekken 7 has it. I don't know for sure. Maybe Tekken 8 has it. I don't know for sure. Maybe some other fighting games have it. I don't know for sure, but it's definitely unique to SoulCalibur now. They didn't have it before, now they do. You got your display settings, you have your controls of what type you want. You can clear all the settings if you want. You got Siegfried, you got Geralt. You can even change the character while you're in training mode. That is a good feature. So you don't have to keep backing out and going back in training mode to switch characters. So let's change Ivy and Cervantes. Why not? Classic. And obviously there's going to be a delay, but it's pretty quick. And now you're in. Look at that. Unblockable. So those are like the same unblockable attacks from old SoulCalibur games. Character models look fine. They're good. The motion feels good. I never really had a beef too much with that. It's more like the gimmicks that keep constantly get adding onto the game are really my main beef. I mean, so there's side beefs there too, but you also have dummy character settings that you could change here. You have gauge settings that it's always maxed out if you want. I mean, there's just so many training settings now. All right, let's go back to the main menu. So we've gone through training. Now we're going to go through arcade. So they actually have a goal to see how quickly you can get this done. We're going to do normal. And I want to show normal off because that's probably about what the average person plays at is normal, especially for a fighting game compared to most other games. They still have standby settings. Don't worry about this. Connection status. I'm going to choose Nightmare. I've already beaten with Nightmare. I just want to show Nightmare off again because how fun he is in this game. He's too good. I don't even think he's a broken character, but there's something about the idea that a great sword wielder is good is scary. That verse still throws me off every time. I do like the 3D models, but they're massive. They're like too close to the screen. Yay, opening dialogue. I wish the dialogue was better in terms of character interactions. They're not that great in this game. Look how fast this is. Dude, it's just... I'm like losing it as I'm playing it because of how quick it is. Look how quick that was. I'm just saying that this game is insanely fast. Notice how it's infinite time. All right, so I got to guess. Look, cinematic, isn't it great? Don't you want every game to be like Tekken 7 or Mortal Kombat X? Voldo's actually trying in this. That's crazy. Yo, I got a great. That font looks okay. The gray font's different than the logo font, which is different than the replay font. There's so many different fonts here. This guy is crazy. Look at that. And that's because I charged up Soul Edge, which you see the logo on the left side. See how quick that match was? We're on normal, by the way. Less than a minute. For 3 rounds. I don't like the 3 rounds, but this game is pretty quick. It compensates better than SoulCalibur V, in my opinion, in terms of its speed, but I still would rather just have 2 rounds. Look at these nightmares, huh? I wish this game had costumes already unlocked. That's so bad. I don't want to sit here and buy things in character creation because it makes me want to grind. I don't want to do that. Look at these maps. Look at that intro cutscene. The one thing you probably should take from Mortal Kombat is unique character dialogue and interactions. That's a good thing to take, not a bad thing. Wow, absolutely slaughtered him. It looks like I'm the real nightmare. This nightmare design's okay. That's all I gotta say. I don't think it's the best nightmare design. It's pretty good. I think it's better than 5s. I don't think it's better than 4s. Grabbing is weird in this game because there's like a little pause. It's very clear that's meant to be the window to counter, to grab as well. You also have unique dialogue when you end, just like you do in regular SoulCalibur games. Raphael has glasses now. I don't know why. He looks like a lost librarian. What is he doing in this game with glasses? SoulCalibur V, he had a hat. Look at this desert map. I mean, this game looks pretty, especially for an Unreal Engine 4 game. All right, just grab him. I don't like that animation for the grab, especially the delay that comes with it. I'm not even gaining enough soul energy to even do my soul charge or my critical edge. I think they do that. Oh, okay. Well, if I'm going to keep winning this quickly, I don't think I'm going to get gold, but the fact that I'm just smoking these rounds on normal is crazy. What are you doing? You're just going to sidestep? The AI is not that great on normal. You really got to get a challenge on hard. Nightmare's voice isn't as good as SoulCalibur IV as well. I like adding side things as I'm playing because these are things that I've talked about. We don't need more anime characters in medieval fantasy. We don't need more anime characters. Stop adding them. Geralt is more related to SoulCalibur in terms of his design than Gro is. Geralt's a cameo character. This is supposed to be, oh yeah, this is a new character that we like. It's so cool. Look, he's got like a demon arm. Remember Nightmare? He's got the same color scheme as Nightmare. Isn't he cool? Oh my god, am I actually going to lose a round? That's crazy. I don't want to actually block. I don't want to. Oh my god. Jesus, when do I attack? It's weird that there's a difficulty spike between this character and Raphael. We're on the 4th stage and now they're actually trying for some reason. I never said I was good at this game. That's not my point. I can hit my critical edge now. Let's go! You notice he tried to hit me out of it? Oh, I got my soul charge on too? Yeah, baby. I think that does 80 damage, usually is around for most people's critical edge, which is the same amount of damage. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Look at Siegfried! Oh yeah! Look, SoulCalibur II Nightmare! One of the best nightmare designs. Oh, block. I tried blocking and I guess I didn't have enough time. Look, anime. You love Noctis from Tekken 7? I also don't like there's comeback mechanics. Don't give people free soul energy. Are you out of your mind? Why are you rewarding him? This is not Mario Party. I don't know why we're treating fighting games like Mario Party. You did poorly, therefore you deserve soul energy. Imagine having to watch this all the time.
Nightmare shall consume you.
That voice does not work for that character model. That's why his voice was just an evil version of Siegfried in 2 for that reason. Because this is one of his alt costumes. It sounds more like Algol or Astaroth. That's what cracks me up about this. Double eagles as an emblem in the background. Very interesting choice. There you go. Wow, that was... Woo, that range was pretty good. Nope. Woo, grabbed her out of the attack. That's good. Give me some of that third strike action. Sorry, Taki, you gotta go. They'll start... What happened there? So what's the point of even doing it half the time? Oh my, that did damage? But that did damage to her health bar when she escaped. That's weird. Notice how I mollywop Taki, but Gro is like, yeah, we're gonna just go all out now. Solomon, yes, everyone's favorite character. Why does he look like Heavy from Team Fortress 2? What's going on with Solomon's character model? I can't unsee that now. My armor's already broken. Imagine breaking armor in the first round. Ooh, guard impact, huh? I actually started doing it. Playing defense is Nightmare. Good one. Playing defense? Nah, I'm good. Nah, no thanks. I'm not playing defense anymore. I don't want to play with you anymore. But you get 8 battles in this, which is very nice. Much more in SoulCalibur V. See, look at Amy's face. It looks nothing like her art. It throws me off every time because it looks like a created character. That's why. Her character model just looks like something you'd find in character creation, which is why it throws me off so much. Give me that perfect. Thanks. This is a nice map. Like I said, the stages don't look that bad. They're kind of barren and empty, some of them. Why is the AI not trying now? They're not trying nearly as hard as they used to. Look how quick this is. Can you keep up? Does this hit? Okay, so it doesn't hit off like that. All right, good match. I don't know if you even want to use a reversal edge. It's probably good because it stops you from getting hit, but it's too much of a risk. When you do a reversal edge, you now have to play rock, paper, scissors to see if you get hit. And obviously some characters are slower than others, so why would you ever reversal edge unless you can guarantee that you can hit your opponent during it? Huang might be one of the worst redesigns. He is not a Bloodborne character. Why does he look like the Bloodborne hunter? He was in the original Soul Blade. He was in SoulCalibur 1. Why is he a Bloodborne hunter now?
Those who stray
stray from the path are lost.
Why is his voice so low? What is this? Holy crap. I hate Huang's redesigning this. Also, I think you do fight the same characters in arcade mode, or at least there's a pattern. He also has a unique gimmick with his peace thing, the yin and yang. I don't know what it does. I don't know what every character does, and I really don't care. This game's dead. We'll probably play an online match just to show you how it feels, but when we get there, I'll just show Steam charts and stuff like that, how bad it really was, on Steam at least. Oh, that was sick. Oh, that's hitting. Woo! Not saying Invincible Super, but it has priority animation. 819, that's not too bad. Grow gave me hard work, but like I said, the AI is not very good in arcade. Sometimes they'll start getting good for some reason. You don't get a special end cutscene, you don't get any of that. I still got silver. Look at that, Grow took 2 minutes, which was ridiculous, but notice how the average is even close to that. It's around 50 seconds, 50 to 55 seconds. But that one stage where Grow's like, yeah, I'm actually gonna start playing now. You can restart from the beginning if you want to get a better medal, but you already know, based on the first few matches, you can average those out. We are now going to get into Libra of Soul mode, and I'm not going to show everything off about this. See, I did a test mode, played it for 8 minutes. I'm like, why are we doing an RPG in the game again? I don't know why they're doing this. I still can't believe we're doing SoulCalibur Legends, man. It blows my mind that we're taking plot lines from SoulCalibur Legends. They really wanted to make a SoulCalibur RPG, but clearly did not know how to do it. They've tried it multiple times with other game modes, and it just doesn't work. As you notice, the canvas Photoshop filter will be on a lot of this stuff. Wow, is that Solomel is our main guy? This guy? I just want to point out he was the villain of 3, and now we're just going to make him a good guy. Why? I don't know. The choices made in this game of thinking what character would be best to introduce you to something is not Solomel. He's not the guy. So this is where you can just straight up create your own character. There's a lot of options here. There's also a lot of different species. You can be Malefic, and it tells you a background story of what this is. They put a lot more time in character creation. You could be Revenant. Remember Revenant from SoulCalibur 3? Automaton? To be or not to be. Colossus. Sculptures graded life by Hephaestus. So weird to talk about Greek mythology. I know Sophitia had it in it, but this was a time to reboot the franchise. Is this God of War now? How many gods are there? Who made the swords? Are we just gonna loop back around at SoulCalibur 7? Actually, Hephaestus made SoulCalibur instead of it being a Chinese artifact of the legendary trio. But you got so many options here. I'll just choose regular guy. Look at these Greek portraits. Slightly tall. Look at it. Tells you there's legit stat change for this. For some odd reason, you get more power the smaller you are. In what world? How does that make any sense? That's one way to balance it. Not properly, but it certainly is. This is your neutral character in terms of reach and power. It makes sense why Amy and Raphael are actually good. Or at least Amy and some of the women character are good. Because even though they have less reach, they have really good power. If this is true for every short character in the game, which is a bad balance technique, because I think everyone would just want more power. You got your Dark Souls build, you get your upper arms, you can make yourself look ridiculous if you want. We'll just do that. He just got upper arm gains, but there's plenty of male faces in this. This is Libra of Souls. It's not character creation. Let's see, I love being a clown, so let's do that. Get those sharp eyebrows. Yeah, there you go. Adventurous youth. All right, unrecognizable. Have a nice day. We're not getting at the colors. Who cares? So this is where you choose your weapons, and it tells you how good they are or what they do. What weapon I'm going to use? I'm going to use Geralt's weapons to show it off. What is this, by the way? Bipolar pulse enhancement device. What? They're invisible, but it makes attacks impossible to predict because it's random. Bad. It's bad. You could also choose random if you wanted to. You see the loading stuff at the bottom left, but it's so fast that they're barely even there. Goofy, fantastical elements that I'm not really interested in terms of SoulCalibur. I'm not interested in these RPG ideas that they're trying to go through. I just don't think it fits SoulCalibur as it is in this game or other games. So you actually have like a health bar. You have the style which you choose, which you can change whenever you want. I don't know why. Why even have a choice to choose one thing if you can change it whenever? What the? Slenderman? That art style reminds me of the Slenderman pages. Take that as you will. So this isn't voice acted, I don't think. When I woke up, my head was pounding. You're finally awake. Are you kidding me? This is a Skyrim moment? Guys, we're going to Helgen. It seems you had quite the nightmare. Shut up. Whoever made this line, you're fired. You're ultra fired. Whoever translated that from Japanese, you're omega fired. The end of all firings. Like the end of this franchise. Amanda Hood stood at my side. His appearance suggested some quiet but strong-willed. A lot of tell and not show in this. We gotta tell every single detail as if we're reading a visual novel. You were affected by the evil seed. Remember SoulCalibur Legends from Western? It's so insane to talk about real places and then have these weird fantasy elements about some great seeds and some foreign blades. It's so absurd. They could have just made up the lands. I don't know why they just didn't do that. Is that an issue? You made up these characters. What difference does it make? That feels lazy. Symptoms vary. Are you freaking Advil? Is this a Tylenol warning? Okay, Surgeon General, is that Solomel? My pharmacist? I can't believe we're talking about the Malfested. That was not a good plot point in 5. Not going to be a good plot point in 6. The idea is bad. We don't need Resident Evil zombie people walking around. The Astral Chaos. Remember the Astral Chaos that was barely brought up in any of the previous Soul Caliburs? It was barely talked about. It's a fighting stage, yes, at the end. But it's supposed to be a fighting stage at the end because it's a cool looking thing about an evil demonic entity. So this tells you part of the story of this. The thing is that they're trying to do what SoulCalibur II did, where you can change any character you want in order to change it to their fighting style. So they simplified and said, you know what, you can just use it in any style you want. That doesn't really feel unique to the playthrough then. This has no replay value to me. Even if there's different quest lines, this is just a one and done thing. There's also food you could select. Wait a minute, that's the food I got from my other character, so it does transfer over to a new game. So if I start a new game, I could just have all the stuff from the previous game? Why are they shared? Defeat your opponent. Remember SoulCalibur where they had objectives too? The air was I just don't care, dude. This is too much dialogue. There's too much exposition in this game. I didn't point this out earlier. Notice how they're using 3D models on this weird parchment-esque ancient background? Why do they have 3D models here, not 2D? What were they thinking with this? I don't understand. I understand they were already pre-rendered, but you had a choice between 2D art that was already made and then 3D models that were put in 2D backgrounds like this. They look so out of place. SoulCalibur Legends did the 2D thing, and that was more of an RPG game. It was action-adventure, but it had RPG elements in it, like Fire Emblem. You can also skip this whenever you want. You probably will be skipping a lot of things because you just want to get through it to unlock things, sadly enough. Especially when you're not playing as a character that you want. You play as their fighting style, but who cares? They're not them. So Geralt's pretty good. So Geralt's style is pretty good. He's pretty quick. I'm just pressing buttons. I know what the buttons do, but I am just pressing them. So that's your first opponent to get you introduced to the combat. The attacker burst into particles of light that soon faded. I can't believe we're having internal monologue stuff too. That's such a weird choice because they didn't go really with a blank character if I have internal monologue. Link doesn't have internal monologue like that. Mario in the beginning did not have internal monologue, if at all. That's what makes it so weird about this game is that you're trying to do like a pseudo self-insert character, but it's not because you're speaking and there's predetermined lines. You take phenomenal power from the fissure. We got to control the astral chaos. So in this game mode, you can choose to be good and evil, and we'll see that. I'm sorry I'm kind of skipping through this, but this is the boring stuff of this game. It just is. This is not fun or interesting to me. Didn't work at SoulCalibur V. You making it in this style is not going to make it better for me as a player. If you like it, good for you. It is not for me. And I've made that abundantly clear in other games about a similar style to this, especially SoulCalibur Legends, which is a spin-off game that they clearly just stole the ideas, or not stole. I say stole, even though it's from the same company, but it's just copying or repeating the same bad ideas that clearly weren't executed well. You get more levels. Yeah, you level up. They also tell you what year it is. Now in the real journey, you see the scales? The scales have tipped in balance in your favor of being a moron. They constantly repeat the nightmares. I don't even know if there's changes, really. It'll just do the same thing. I think the nightmares get worse, and there'll probably be a plot point that goes into it. But I'd argue this is just too long. Look at this. I watched as a colossal building. What are you talking about? Show me it. Why don't you just show me it? So this is where the two swords show up, and this is where you choose being good or evil. I'm going to choose Soul Edge this time. I chose the golden sword. See, Azor's sword is good.
Your soul resonates with the darkness.
With the darkness. I'm pretty sure he was the voice of Xemnas, so that's why I joke about darkness. You're a nobody. Ring out's disabled. What the? Hey, you okay? Dude, are you okay? You like my chin? Got a massive chin. It's insane. Everyone's got Chad face syndrome in this game. From the art to the character model they do. Everyone's got like a prominent chin. It's not really rounded out, which is interesting to me. Also, you notice I couldn't change the difficulty for this. It is what it is. What do you go by? I told Maxie my name. Why wouldn't you just do that at the bottom left? Why would you put a dialogue in the middle instead of just putting the dialogue at the bottom? And just put it in parentheses. An internal thought is usually done through parentheses. You didn't need to make a whole separate thing. And I'm talking about just being cost efficient. You didn't need to make a separate thing unless it was an overall narrator doing the story. If you just want internal monologue, just parentheses. You already have my character doing ellipses or a series, 50-50 split. So I'm not going to go with Maxie because I'm evil. Oh no, it just automatic. Never mind. Player choice? There isn't really much choosing going on. Things are going to happen whether you like it or not. This is probably the last I'll play of this. After this, I'm not saying there isn't more to this. It's just not that interesting to me to keep going or show off in a retrospective. Again, we're seeing the same nightmare for the third time. I think we got it. We already do this. What's the point of having... Whatever, man. What was this? What's the point of this? Put that down here so you don't have to waste time doing this. It's not a nitpick. It's legit criticism. Come on, man. I thanked Maxie. Then just thank him in your dialogue. Why are you having internal monologue? Just make our character talk. If we were just going to have internal monologues, just make him speak in the bottom. It's not like it's voice acted. Suddenly a voice... It's so much exposition. So much exposition. Because if you don't like these characters, you're screwed. That's the worst part. If you don't like Zaz Salamel, you're not going to like the beginning. If you don't like Maxie, you're not going to like this. It's very character oriented, and if you don't like those characters, you're definitely not going to want to keep continuing to play the game, even if you like the gameplay, because this is too story based. Even though we're in mission mode, this is based on its own separate story per se, but there's just too much dialogue. There's too much rambling, too much exposition, too much jaw falling away. All right, Killick Light. That's the worst part, though, is that there's so much exposition and there's so much dialogue. So many things written on the screen that you have to get through. And then when you get to the gameplay, it's less than a minute. The gameplay is supposed to be carrying the game, but now we have the story trying to carry the game and it just doesn't work. It's not strong enough. The story in this game is not strong enough to carry the whole game. Shake your head. Nope. What is the point of that? Does that change anything later on? Why even give me a choice if we're just going to do the exact same thing? If the result's the same, why even have separate actions? Now I have 2 cakes because I didn't use it in the first game. This is when I quit last time because you literally have a group of people or an organization called the Qualifiers. I'm done. You clearly stopped caring. That's Libra of Souls. If you like that style of gameplay, you can play it. If not, you could do story mode or online instead. We haven't tried online yet, and I think we should do a little bit of online. Let's do 1 match of casual. So they tell you what casual mode does. Is there any rooms even available? There is 1, and they want a best of 5. I don't think so. I might as well just do ranked. The online's dead. If we don't get a match, then don't worry about it. But this is where I'm going to show you the Steam charts. This game did not do well in sales on Steam. It absolutely did not. This game was dead in the first 2 months, and even right now, it's still bad. But it's been 5 years out since the last update, I think. Can we find a match? Let's do 1 match, see how it feels to show it off. But this game does have online mode, and this is the first time I'm actually getting to show it off in a SoulCalibur game. I didn't show it off in 4 to 5 for obvious reasons. I'm just going to keep talking through this because when we get to story mode, it's definitely going to be interesting too. Because if you like the dialogue or hated the dialogue in Libra of Soul, you're going to get more in the story mode. Oh, you wanted show not tell? Which was one of the best things about the intro cutscene of SoulCalibur, is that it showed you what the game is instead of telling you. That was another criticism of the intro cutscene, by the way, as well. But to be fair, there was a new timeline. I give a little bit of leniency and levity when the timeline changes, so you know what the changes are. Okay, we actually got a match. It probably is helpful for people that are new to SoulCalibur to tell them what the new storyline is now. Mitsurugi. Oh my god. I'm gonna get cooked. Please have good internet.
This should be a good fight.
Okay, I'm fighting a custom character as Nightmare. Oh my goodness. I'm probably gonna get cooked. I don't know if I'll be fast enough to grab. Nice. Good job. I'm going to lose. I'm whooping butt. I didn't think it'd be that easy. Also, it's interesting to do like a best of 2 with 3 rounds. I'm gonna get whoops. Oh my goodness, Nightmare's good. Oh my god, Nightmare's good. They only gave 150? That dude had the 3,000s. Oh my god. Why am I trying to grab? Oh, that was sick. That was awesome, actually. Nice! Look at that move! I should be guard impacting more, but blocking's just pretty okay in this game. Oh, I'm getting hit. Yeah. Oh, okay. Keep blocking that. Oh, that was a sick jump. I got him. I got him. Yeah, let's go. GG. Best 2 out of 3. We're done. Yeah, we won. Didn't feel like I won, though. Felt cheap. How do I not get more RP? He had 3,000 RP, by the way. And we're done. I'm not going to play more. So if you want to play that, go ahead. Now we are going to get into story, which is very much different. You saw it earlier when I played the intro to the game, but this is the main story. You can, if you want to, choose one character and go through their story. If you don't care about playing the main story necessarily, you could just begin an episode here. But we're going to do the main story. So you already saw the opening, and the prologue is just the intro cutscene of the game. The Ling Shang Su tragedy within the evil seed. Welcome back to the stage of misery. More of this canvas Photoshop filter on these things. I don't think this was a part of the original art. I think this is clearly a filter and it doesn't look great. Notice how this art's different from the other art they showed in the character profile portraits. It's got like 5 billion art designs, 5 billion different fonts as well. This art direction is all over the place. It's all over the place, man. Ah, yes, lovers quarrel. In the main story, we're starting off with Killick. I hate it. What this story mode tries to do is Dead or Alive, and it just doesn't work. Also, Dead or Alive's cutscenes were in 3D. This art was similar to Libra of Souls in terms of Zasalamel's portrait. Like I said, the background's the same, so they just copy and paste it. This art isn't the same art they showed in the other cutscene with Killick. Why is SoulCalibur part of the 3 ancient artifacts? What are you doing? Astral Chaos! Look, a belt is a freaking artifact. Are you kidding me? Is this like Ninja Gaiden where they keep it in the clan? The Dragon Sword. Oh, this is Shuang Liang.
I thought you'd get Krita-Yuga.
This makes me frustrated because this is not SoulCalibur. This is Fire Emblem. This is Journey to the West, which we have a Sun Wukong game. Go play that. Oh no, SoulCalibur escaped. We got to get it back. It ruins the medieval fantasy aspect because now it just makes it more Chinese mythology than European mythology. Yeah, this is some interesting voice acting to say the least.
Was none other than my father.
Oh! See, my thing was, I wish SoulCalibur was more stringent about who could wield it. That made more sense to me. They didn't do that well in terms of the arcade endings, but they very clearly have a reason why Siegfried is wielding it for so long and not anyone else in the main story. There was supposed to be one chosen one. Not 15, not 10, not 5, one, and it's very clearly Siegfried. That's why they keep it consistent all the way through the Soul Caliburs to SoulCalibur V in the intro. Obviously, the time skip and they give it to Patroclus. Terrible mistake. And now, instead of using Sophitia's kids as a plot device, we're now using Killick and Shang Liang. I'm not saying they were never important characters. They are not the main characters. I don't care for them. I care for Siegfried because he's the plot. He's the plot catalyst. It's not simple bias. You have shown me time and time again as I'm talking over their dialogue because there's too many. I don't care. We need to push the plot forward. You're wasting my time. I would have to choose another episode if I wanted to do something else, but this is the main story, which is why I chose this. If you want a more complete story, you'd play the main story. You wouldn't just play everyone's episodes. Hell on Earth, Evil Seed, Mortal Kombat. The Shaolin monks. Even this random monk got portrait art. So this is where you play as Killick and you just whoop this monk. No soul charges. Who cares? I'm Killick. Do you know who I am? This looks too much like Asuka Kazama too. But I see the long hair and it's like, okay. Wow, I sure hope Killick becomes the main wielder of Soul Calibur. I stopped mid-sentence. God, there's so much dialogue. This is the same criticism as SoulCalibur V. Oh, it's Edgemaster, so he is in the game. Whatever. I don't like that now everyone has a sacred artifact. That's dumb. That's not the point of SoulCalibur. If your artifact was so good, you wouldn't have been going after Soul Edge and SoulCalibur. Just pointing that out. You're ruining the point. Is that everyone has their own destiny. Where everyone is trying to choose their own destiny by either getting Soul Edge or SoulCalibur, for better or for worse. But Soul Edge gets to be a special blade all on its own. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry if I'm making this insufferable for skipping this, but like, it's just dialogue! You could watch this on YouTube and not change anything because there's not enough gameplay. That's the worst part about it. I want a game. I don't want a visual novel in SoulCalibur. What? What are you talking about? A second Soul Edge? Oh, shut up. Oh my god. Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. God, we're having a montage. We're gonna fight a bear in the wild. What is this, Baki? All right, who is it?
Sometimes things reveal themselves.
I understand.
What is this? This is your test character that you made in Libra of Soul? What are they doing? And the squeals make this so much worse. This is great. This is actually great in the worst way possible. This is B-movie schlock stuff. All around me are familiar faces. Worn out faces. Worn out places. The dreams of where I'm a clown are the best I've ever had. I don't know what to say. This is not going to combo. I did my critical edge, it hit, and then it didn't do the critical edge. Boom, look at that kick. I didn't even knock him off the stage. It seems to be a little bit hard to get ring outs if you're not just juggling in midair. Oh my god. Oh my god, more dialogue. Okay, we actually get to fight Edgemaster? Do I unlock him if I beat him? Because I know Inferno's in this game, but he's not available for on. What? You don't even get to fight Edgemaster? I'm so done. I'm tired of Killick. This is the main story, by the way. Main story! It's just nothing but Killick. Look, Taki's supposed to show up here. Maxi's supposed to show up here. Why do I need to play all the separate modes just to get to these characters? I think I'm done. I'm suffering. I'm done. This is the last SoulCalibur game. 'Tis the time for the best thing about SoulCalibur in the modern era, which is character creation. And this game, by far, has the best character creator. Okay, AMD software, stop coming up on my screen. I got it. So you have many slots like you do before, but you have 100 in this game. Way more than the previous games. You also get to choose original and SoulCalibur character customization. So if you want to customize, let's say Mitsurugi, who's on the screen with Sophitia, you could do that. But let's do an original character. This is the newest stuff that hasn't been in SoulCalibur IV, which is a race selection. You have Human, Outcast, Lost Soul, Winged, Residents of the Astral Chaos. That's wild. Lizard Man. Why is Lizard Man not in the game? If you have him as a race type, that's weird, unless he's DLC, which that sucks if he is. I don't think he is. Mummy, Automaton, Shapeshifter, Colossus, Malfested fully transformed, Malfested mutated, Malfested when it's starting out, Revenant, who was a character in SoulCalibur III, Darksider, wow, I love War, I love Death, Lost Soul Horned, Malefic, and Hidden Village Clan, hidden in the leaves, hidden in the sand, hidden in the sound, Naruto! If you want to be a ninja, my ninja clan, ninja clan. You could be one in this game. This is a crazy amount of selection for character creation. It seems like they cared way more about character creation, arguably, than anything else in the game, simply because of how much stuff is in there. There's clearly more effort to do this stuff than there was in any other part of the game, sadly enough. Let's be Shapeshifter. Look at these portraits. What the? There are many customization options. Did you know that? There are many. So you could choose your character, of course, of what style from. Obviously, I don't have all the characters unlocked, nor do I have DLC characters, so we're going to choose, let's see. I like Cervantes. Look at those two weapons, baby. Official flags. These are weapons? Are you kidding me? Okay. Oh, you got the anime pack. Yeah. Holy. So one of the things you could do here is you could change just like you did in Libra of Souls. You could just do the upper arms. Because Libra of Souls is just the same thing as this. Except there's more options in this, obviously. Well, for Shapeshifter, I'm not saying you can't see a difference, but it's Alien? Okay, that's good. So you got all the options like you do in previous SoulCalibur games. The Samsara hood. Dude, is that Solomon? Yeah, that's the best one. Of course, going to use that. Why wouldn't you? We just need to be the goofiest guy we could be. No, that's a bit too much. Come on now. Dragonfly wings, dude. See the absurdity. I mean, Tekken has this too as well. Is this the absurdity of thing? But like I said, it was a hitbox, hurtbox situation where you just don't know for sure why this is not used in official tournaments. The Purge Gauntlet. That's what Gro's weapon's called? Are you serious? This piece is incompatible. Okay, so there is some incompatible pieces. That's good to know. They're not just letting you do hodgepodge of everything on top of everything. This is the most fun you have in a game like this, man. It's like SoulCalibur V and even 4, arguably. You can just put a boot on your head. Good enough. So this is my character. Dude, we still got to do colors and all this stuff. Okay, I'm not going to do every little thing. I'm just here to show it off as part of this retrospective. You're not without options in this game. You can choose what comments and greetings you can have for each character upon which situation. Look how many there are. That's insane. You can also take a picture if you like with different... I should go back in there. With different frames. Bad with 2Ds this time. We can even do a mock battle, which is so good. I always like this option to show off what your character can do. This is supposed to be Cervantes' moveset, so it's not like you get crazy new movesets. You just get Cervantes' moveset. You know what's throwing me off? The alien voice. You can also use this online, as you've already seen through the online battles. So if you want to fight people like this, you can. But even in the mock battle settings, you have a lot to choose from here. Oh, wait, hold on. Finish editing. You can share it online, too. Yay. I'm not doing that. Bye-bye. I'm not sharing it. Nope, it's mine. We could actually get to the price of the game of DLCs. So we're actually going to try on hard. I'll probably get my butt whipped. So let's talk about the price of this game. This game's still $60 7 years later. Are they out of their minds? Do they really think that anyone would buy this $60 on a dead online game? It should be down to $20 now, if that. I mean, it does go on sales, and I'll show the sales, but the DLC is so expensive. Even when they're on sale, some of the DLC is more expensive than the game when it's on sale. I bought this cheap. I'm still criticizing it based on that. This game is too expensive. Bandai Namco does not know how to sell a game based on prices. Everything is too expensive for a dead game. And that's the worst thing about Bandai Namco. It wasn't nearly as bad in SoulCalibur IV. But now, these days, they want everything to cost $1 billion. It's been true for Tekken 7. It was true for Tekken 8. It's been true for Sparking Zero. It's horrendous. Why would anyone want to do anything with this at this point in this game? That's why this game is so dead. I'll pull up the Steam charts just in case to show you no one cares anymore. They stopped caring the first 3 months it came out. They were done. If Bandai Namco's make things so expensive as they're releasing these character passes and all of these DLC characters that should have been in the game. Hilda should have been in the game. Look at the list. You know these characters that have already been mainstays in the series. Hilda was in 4, right? That's why I say she should have been in the game. 2B is a cameo character from another game. I'm fine with her being DLC as a concept, but the execution of the price is not the best. No one is going to buy this game, and it proved that with the sales numbers. Apparently, this game sold better than SoulCalibur V, but I don't think it sold better than 2. And like I said, this is multi-platform game. Multi-platform, and it still couldn't outsell 2. And I know 2 was multi-platform as well. It had 3 consoles. But in the modern era, you'd think that a game made in 2018 would maybe sell better, especially at how far it's gotten into its franchise, than the second game in the franchise. Love that winning pose. It's the best winning pose for Cervantes by far. One of my favorites since Soul Blade or Soul Edge, depending on where you're from. They did not learn the mistakes of the previous games of 4 and 5. They're overpricing things even worse than before. DLC characters way too many, and characters that should have been in the game are now DLC characters. It's ridiculous. I don't even know what to give this game. This is horrible that this is the last game of the franchise. I gotta say, overall, especially as a guy who's played every other game, it's just not great. It's just not. This cinematic style gameplay is not great for SoulCalibur. It wastes too much time. This is the epitome of what is good and bad in SoulCalibur. Thank you guys for staying this long in this review retrospective of SoulCalibur. More reviews and retrospectives on the way. I hate Bandai Namco. I wish they were a better company, but they're not. They don't care anymore. Have a good one on me. You're not welcome back to the stage of history. Apparently, that's what Bandai Namco said. We're not bringing it back. I don't know if there'll ever be another SoulCalibur game. We'll see. It's been 7 years. If they wanted to make one, they could have done it by now. They usually take 3 to 4 years to make, so have a go on me. Bye-bye.
Victory goes
Bye-bye.
to the last one standing.